Welcome back to Econo Chat. Let's talk business with Daniel Steinman here on Energy 100 FM. I'm your host, Nishan. We're talking about 2018, the year after which the recession was confirmed in Namibia. If you're just getting onto your radio right now, that means you missed basically half of the conversation, but you don't have to worry about a thing because we are definitely going to make it available to you on Energy 100 FM Namibia. That is our YouTube channel. Otherwise, you can also check out www.economist.com.na, where we of course are going to be posting the conversation as well as all the other conversations that we've had before. They are also made available on that specific website. So getting back to the conversation, 2018, Mr. Daniel Steinman, where were we?
When we were all wrong.
when we were all wrong, when we thought, okay, things are actually looking up. There are some improvements here and there. And I mean, if you've got somebody like the former finance minister in the office telling you that, look, things could be looking good, we can't do anything but believe it, right?
The sad irony is that he wasn't wrong. The data points that he picked, they really improved. Even some of them ever so slightly. And we all wanted to believe it, because then we realized we're now going into our third year of a recession. And if it were not for COVID-19, we probably would have been out of the recession in 2020. And then it would have been academic. Nobody would have bothered to go and check back. Did the recession end the last quarter of 2018 or the second quarter of 2019? It really would have been irrelevant. And that is why the impact of COVID-19 is far more serious than what most people know or want to believe or could anticipate. Because it came and shook our house of cards that was already very shaken. So 2018, we had this slight upticks. There was a banking liquidity problem at some point, but not really a crisis. The banking liquidity was at its worst in the first quarter of 2017, when it was negative until, if I remember correctly, the 9th of May 2017. So you can see now in 2018, we're a year further along the way. We sort of put all of this behind us. We haven't had negative banking liquidity for over a year. Everything is hunky-dory. Go to the bank, go get a loan, invest in your business. We're ready to roll, except it didn't happen. And where did you see it? You remember that PSCE? Big word, private sector credit extension. Despite banking liquidity being positive for more than a year, despite banking liquidity being actually quite good in the middle of 2018. The average businessman, the general man in the street, the Namibian public did not want to borrow. So all the other green shoots, they were there. And some of them came and then they went, and others improved and deteriorated, but they were still there, but meaningless if the people who are participating in the economy are unwilling to go to the bank and make a commitment and say, give me 10 million, I want to put up a factory. If that doesn't happen, it means that the future potential of the economy to generate an income is impeded. Now, let me explain this why. So let me just quickly recap. PSCE, private sector credit extension, just kept coming down ever so steadily, month after month after month, wouldn't pick up. That was the one green shoot that we were looking for and that we should have paid attention to, which we didn't. Or which we chose to ignore. But it is not an understatement when I say we were all wrong. We had to admit it. I did presentations in the beginning of the second half of 2018, where with an open face I stood there and I had all the slides and on the screen and show the people, look at this, look how it was, where it was in 2016, look what happened in 2017, look where we now. It's just a matter of time, the never happened. Because people were not prepared to go make that commitment in terms of borrowing money now. Now, you have to remember, when you live beyond your means as a private individual, you go to the bank and they say, you've got a nice income, you earn 15,000 or 25,000 or 30,000 a month or whatever. And let's give you a little overdraft. Now, they've got certain formulas to work it out, ratios. So, say your annual income is 180,000 or 200,000. Let's give you a 20,000 overdraft. That is a lot of money.
Yes.
Especially if you get it all in once.
Yes.
Because whether you earn a small salary or a big salary, usually, typically, 85% of the people, that salary is sliced up. There's not much left for you to have a nice life after you've paid everything that you must pay, you see. So savings is the thing that gets neglected. And where do you save? You typically save with Old Mutual and Sanlam or your bank in a savings account or a unit trust account or so. And you need that savings money in the economy. It must be available as local funding. Either in the money market or the capital market. There's a whole bunch of mechanisms how that money circulates through the economy. But you need it because that provides the basis against which the banks do their financing again. Do you see this? It's all one big ball and it all goes round and round and round and round. But if you don't have the saving, your liquidity will run dry very quickly. You know? So this is what started happening in 2018, towards the end of it. And all the clever oaks standing there making presentations, telling us it's going to be nice, myself included. We were wrong, because if you go borrow money and you put up a factory, it is a huge debt that you incur now. Let's say 10 million, 20 million, 30 million, 50 million. Those are typically the type of loans, financial commitments that entrepreneurs have to make to put up a new factory. So it means that it's a negative on your balance sheet. But you put up a factory because you want to produce something. So you first have to invest. You have to go get the money. You have to pay for the factory. You have to build it. You have to finish it, put in the equipment, start making the stuff, do the marketing, start selling, get an income. So this process may take 24 months, 36 months. In the meantime, you have to service that commitment. So it's a big thing. Private sector credit extension is possibly the most important statistics in microeconomics. It's the one you have to watch, because it's not just about the size of loans or new loans, new credit from banks. It's about the psychology behind why people want to borrow money or not want to borrow money. And this is the part that you need to take with you. What happened in 2018, the clever okies, we could tell the world as much as we like, look, the revival is there, the economy is on the mend. If the people did not believe us and didn't go and borrow money to invest, to improve productivity, local production, output, everything, nothing happened. And that's exactly what happened. And we were still treading water in 2019, towards the end of it. Remember, in 2018, I think the contraction, the adjusted contraction, or the revised contraction was 0.1%. So 0.1%. So it basically means it's neutral. You know, it is just below zero. And then in 2019, that contraction suddenly jumped to 1.1%. And then I think it was revised to 1.4% or 1.5%, if I remember correctly. But it was substantially revised later on. So, yes, 2018 we had confirmation that we are in a recession. It was the third year of the recession. We saw, despite improvements here and there, local, that the credit extension, the appetite of investors or entrepreneurs for credit was minimal. People borrowed on overdrafts in their personal capacities to survive. Companies shut down all extensions. started laying off people, started streamlining their operations. The whole rationalization process started kicking in towards the second half of 2018. Even the very positive or relatively positive government budget for that year couldn't change perceptions. And you just saw, Nashan, if you told me 6 years ago that there will come a day that the monthly growth in private sector credit extension, so it's measured monthly, we say it's measured monthly year on year, YOY.
Yeah.
So if I measure it for November this year, I compare it to November last year.
Yeah.
So it's an annual comparison, but focused on a specific month.
Yes.
So you always compare the figures like that.
Yeah.
If you told me it would go below 7%, I would say you're nuts. You know, where in your life it's more typical 13, 14, 15%, even 19% in Namibia.
Yeah.
And then when it went below 5%, this was in 2018, I said to myself, it can't go any lower. Then it went below 4%. And during 2019, it actually went as low as, I think, 1.1% or 1.2%. It was at its lowest.
Yeah.
And when you get to that low credit growth, it is the same as no credit growth at all. And what happens is that your economy goes into a standstill, and that is exactly what happened in 2019. After our confirmation year, 2018, 2019, you saw, something seriously is wrong here.
Yeah.
The whole economy is basically came to a standstill or idling, neutral. Nothing was growing. Nobody was investing.
Yeah.
What I explained now.
Yes.
There was no investment. It means future growth wasn't taken care of. If you want to grow 5% 5 years from now, you have to invest now, today. You have that factory that you want to make a profit out in 2 years or 3 years from now, you have to start building that factory today. So do you see this? You call it lead.
Yeah.
So you always need this lead, and this lead is usually 2 years, 3 years, but it can be 4 or 5 years. So that is where we stood in 2019.
Econo Chat, let's talk business with Daniel Steinman, the editor of The Economist, and also generally an economic analyst. Always great talking to you. We, of course, busy with episode 11, 2018, the year after which the recession was confirmed. You can check it out on our YouTube channel, Energy 100 FM Namibia, and of course also on www.economist.com.na. Until the next one, Mr. Steinman, thank you so much once again, and can't wait to find out what we're talking about next.
So long, Nishan.
There we go. It is your power station, Energy 100 FM. My name is Nishan. It's been great. Until next time, I'm out of here. Welcome back to Econo Chat. Let's talk business with Daniel Steinman here on Energy 100 FM. I'm your host, Nishan. We're talking about 2018, the year after which the recession was confirmed in Namibia. If you're just getting onto your radio right now, that means you missed basically half of the conversation, but you don't have to worry about a thing, because we are definitely going to make it available to you on Energy 100 FM Namibia. That is our YouTube channel. Otherwise, you can also check out www.economist.com.na, where we of course are going to be posting the conversation as well as all the other conversations that we've had before. They are also made available on that specific website. So getting back to the